Heidi-ho, Cinema Cycle fans. It's November 23rd, 2015, and it's 44 degrees outside. Hence the turtleneck. Kind of cold. Hey, it's Monday, and it's Laserdisc Day. So, the random media generator has given me an oddity. It will be a new movie for all of us, I'm sure. It's the movie called Dark Until Dawn. Never seen it. I have no idea what it's about. Appears to be a circa 1970s grindhouse movie. Something you would have seen in a drive-in movie theater in Montana. Basically has to do with farmers and Vietnam vets. So I'm thinking Rambo on the cheap. Let's find out. Okay, what you have here is the evil corporate farmers backed up by the equally inept U.S. government trying to squeeze out the small farmer, most of whom are Vietnam vets. Bit film schoolish, not a really great production. Not bad so far. But it takes me back to this whole childhood thing where I grew up in the Midwest, which is where all this is. We're talking Montana, Idaho, the Dakotas, Kansas. And this good old boy network of farmers driving pickup trucks, and the big city is evil, but out here we're all down by the river, drinking hooch and talking about Betty Sue and Sally Mae or something. So it's it does highlight that kind of genre and ethnic group in society, although it's a little cheesy. Like I say, it's a little film schoolish. What I love is that there's some scenes in here that are just kind of stupid, where it shows the lead guy licking an envelope to mail something, and he's like doing like this, I think proper direction would have just been like, seal the envelope, and the guy's got a notebook where he's taking notes, and every note he takes is in really huge lettering so the audience can read it, like, call Bob, on a whole piece of paper in his notebook. It's like, oh yeah, sure. That's how I take notes. Okay, it's starting to get a little weird. You got some kind of weird barn full of cult farmers chanting to some bizarre god about fighting the evil American government, and is this like a horror movie? A couple little tidbits about this movie. Not a bad film, but just kind of a drive-in movie film. But despite the great names like Doug McClure and Ben Johnson, who happen to be in it, you also get this guy, I guess it's Billy Drago, is the male lead. He wears a cowboy hat, a farmer's hat most of the time. When he takes it off, you can tell, bad toupee. And the other thing I noticed is that, if you notice, one of the writers is this woman who's also the lead actress in the film. So the lead actress was actually the writer of the film. Almost seems like a project that a bunch of friends got together and actually spent some money on to make a film all about the concept of farming and how farmers really live their lives and how downtrodden they are and repressed. And it's obviously very biased toward the farmers. But the thing I kind of question is everything moves on, and they kind of reference this in the film. It's like, I think maybe the days of the small independent farmer are gone. It's just not going to exist anymore. You've got to have corporate farming to feed that many people. So I think it's a bit dated, probably from the 90s. You know what this reminds me of? When I was in college, I spent a lot of time in the communications department at college radio, and got to hobnob with all the video people as well. And when you go to college and you studied media back in the 80s, you would be assigned to create a film, for your grade. And they would actually do pretty elaborate stuff, sets, editing, music, score. But it was always looked kind of high schoolish and amateurish to a certain degree because it's not a big Hollywood studio. Well, that's what this movie is. This reminds me of those college attempts at cinema, which were good. They were trying, but not that good. Okay, the credits are rolling. A little bloodfest there at the end, although not that bad. This film actually would qualify for Halliwell's Film Guide because it was released supposedly in 1988, which is ahead of the Halliwell 1995 cutoff. but there's no reference to it. So I'm having the assumption at this point that this film was actually never released in theaters. It probably went straight to video. So there is no Halliwell critique of this exceptional Blood on the Scarecrow, Blood on the Plow film.